This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Cats, Kitty, and Pudding. Meow. I got my co-host with me today, and I have a wonderful guest with me who is a friend, what do we say, a patient, a fourth daughter, a family member, everything. I love her. I love her family. Our families are now families. Miss Mariah Lynn. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Hey.
You look so pretty.
Thank you. You both look beautiful as well.
Thank you. You look at this. Like,
no, that outfit. The minute I saw her standing up with that outfit, it's like the perfect 10 body.
Yeah,
perfect
she does.
Outfit.
She has the perfect.
It's such a cute look with the hair. I don't even
so
think
pretty.
If she didn't have her hair that way, it's almost like the perfect accessories. Even the way the bow, the hair.
Thank you. This is Fashion Nova mixed with a little red bottom, but Fashion Nova, they're pretty good. Love the clothes. Fashion Nova, super accessible, super cheap. You know, they have sales a lot, buy one, get one free and stuff. So, you know, that's what I usually do. I see a lot of, I can wear designer brands and stuff, but I also feel like, I heard you like earlier, you were like, you got to stay humble. I also stay humble. If I could get a cute little $30, $40 outfit and match it with a cute designer bag, and why not?
But of course, because people like us, I know, if I'm wearing something that's $5, and I couple it with something that's designer, people think, "Oh my God, where did you get that?" I'm like,
so
I got it
cute.
at Target, but because of who wears it, people think it's expensive. But also, you're always in events, so you're gonna always have to change outfits all the time. And what are you going to do? Spend thousands of dollars on one outfit that you could only wear once because now you're in the press and people see you and you're on a show.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely correct.
So they're like recycle. You can't recycle that many outfits when you're in the public life.
I've never shopped on Fashion Nova. Is the price point on Fashion Nova like? I don't even know what the prices are. Is that expensive? Is it?
No,
like a Temu?
I think no, it's definitely not a Temu.
It's not a Temu.
No shade, because I'm always open for new deals with new companies. But I think that it's a little bit like affordable for people who are minimum wage jobs and stuff like that, which is absolutely great. But like Jen said, it's all on who wears it. You could wear a $5 top and bottom and look like it's a $1,000 outfit, depending on how you style it. So I want to inspire young girls to, it's cool to have the Balenciagas and the Dior's and stuff, but that doesn't define you, and doesn't make you beautiful to have designer stuff. You can be in a regular outfit and still look like $1 million.
Look like $1 million.
And the attitude
I love you.
is what makes the clothes look good. If you feel good in it and you're wearing it well, you feel good in what you're wearing.
Right.
It's like a mix and match. You could have like a $1,000 pair of shoes on,
right,
and then like a $5
and they fucking
sweater.
Yeah.
And if you mix and match and you wear it well, why not?
Of course. And that's the way I always am with clothes. I wear what I like, what I look good in.
Me too.
And I try to couple it. So I'll wear my designer bags and my designer sunglasses, but I could be wearing a $10 t-shirt that I bought in online or whatever, or
Absolutely.
I found in my
Shein
box.
even has Shein, the other site. Shein.
Yeah.
Shein.
I don't have a deal with them. I'm a Fashion Nova ambassador, but Shein is really good too, because my boyfriend lives in Puerto Rico, so I'm always on the island, and you want to wear close to nothing on those islands because you're sweating. It's so humid there. So I order Shein, and I get like the matching earrings, the bag, the shoes. Like you literally just search and cherries, and everything cherries will come up, from slippers to pajamas.
Wow.
Oh my God, crazy. I have a free-for-all.
I'm not a big online shopper. I wish I was. I see packages coming all day at my condo. People are ordering every day. I see these boxes, Shein, Temu, Fashion Nova.
I see mine every day.
To the condo. I'm like, what the hell is in these boxes?
I see them every day because of my kids.
I was gonna
Shein,
say
Amazon.
Amazon.
I swear to God, these Amazon driver like basically kicking my boxes down the
goodness.
block because he must hate coming to my house every day. It's crazy. But you know what is with me? I think with Shein and stuff like that. I think as I'm getting older, I feel like I have to try everything on because I feel like certain things, like see how she could put
Right.
that on?
Yeah.
And it fits her because she's younger. When you get older, I feel like everything starts to fit weirder. Like you
Right.
have to get a little bit more tapered clothes, I think, right? Or more of expensive clothes.
Yeah,
When you
like
get older?
try it on.
Yeah, like
That's true. And for me, honestly, you see a lot of my pieces are also custom because I'm so small that by the time I get to order an outfit, sometimes it's all sold out in small.
Yeah.
So, it's a high demand for small, extra small. Sometimes the extra small is a little too small, a little too much,
Showing.
booty showing. So I would need a small, but me too. I preferably go for a custom piece from my designer because I know it's going to fit in, all the right places and make my body look, how I want it to look.
certain things, yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, not even I'm saying even like having to go and buy a designer, but like a little bit more, like going to like a more little boutique or something, because there's a lot now. I think even especially online boutiques, but there's a lot of boutique shopping. It went from the mall; everybody was going to the big malls to shop, right? And it originally started with
I
the
hate
boutiques.
malls. If you
I
have ADD,
can't.
Me
you
too.
hate malls.
I have
can't.
ADD.
I don't
Me
like
too.
malls.
And
I
I
always
getting-
felt like I was swimming in the middle of the ocean and didn't know where the land was. I hate swimming. I hate being in a mall.
I love that
I
analogy.
hate the food courts.
It's so
I hate
true.
everything about the malls.
I love
And
her.
I hate when people staring at you when you're looking through the racks, and they're like they want to get into
Or
the
when
racks with
someone
you
is
too.
standing dead smack in front of something for like a minute and a half, and you're standing there waiting, like, could you have some comment? Can I
Can you
look
move over
too?
so I can look?
Yeah, they look back at you like, and I'm like, move, hello, like, please. I've said excuse me 3 times, you didn't hear me, but okay.
No, they don't listen.
It gives you anxiety. Well, me personally, I get anxiety in malls because
Yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
people, and they're like, "Can I get a picture?" Like I literally. Ooh, wow.
Ooh.
We
It's
could
true.
just edit that out, but
It's okay.
it's
that
fine.
your
We could leave it in.
earring?
It's actually funny, yeah. But Love and Hip Hop was definitely like a life changer for me. But Baddies, this new show, is like Love and Hip Hop on steroids, and I feel like
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
I literally can't go anywhere.
Well, first tell us how you got. So just your navigation through it. You're on Love and Hip Hop. How did you wind up on Love and Hip Hop?
I was in a strip club in Queens, Starlets,
Oh,
one
wow.
night. I was with DJ Self, and my record, Once Upon a Time, that went gold, was being played. And then he was like, oh, I'm actually going to, this casting call for Love and Hip Hop. Would you do it? And I was like, I don't know. At first, I was like, I don't know, because I've seen how it was. Like, they were obviously getting into altercations and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if that's how I want to really, start my career. But at that point, I was like, maybe this is something that I could try just to, for the exposure and to get the record out there. So they love the record so much.
It's a good song.
Thank you. They love the record so much, and they were just like, "Oh my God, we love you! Like we just love you." I was like,
Well,
okay.
you're the whole package.
Thank
you
you.
are the whole package.
Thank you. And it was hard at first because I'm from Jersey. A lot of the people I love in hip hop, New York, and then at one point, the whole thing is like your relationships and your friendships are tested. So it is a lot. But going from that, I think, and now being on Baddies, like, it's definitely a huge difference in the money. Like, I love Zeus Network. Shout out to Lemmy and Natalie and LJ and all of them at Zeus. They're amazing. They welcome me with open arms from another network, and they've treated me amazing.
How do you find Zeus?
You can download it. It's an app.
Okay.
So my boss created an independent streaming platform 5 years ago, I'm pretty sure. And, they started off just doing pilots and shoot, just testing the waters.
Wow.
To now it being the #1 show in America, Baddies on Zeus. Yeah, so.
The #1 show in America.
#1 show in America.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching
Why do you
it.
think that is? Why do you think it's the #1 show?
Because I think that reality TV gives young girls, not just young girls, but I think just women in general, and young girls, like, they could relate to most of us. So they tend to like gravitate towards us, like I'm fan favorites for some people and I'm least valuable to others. But I think that it's an experience that not everybody's built for. There is a lot of fighting. There is a lot of cattiness. I mean, it's 23 girls on
Holy shit.
How is
one
that?
show.
I cannot believe it's that many girls on the show.
Yeah, it gets pretty chaotic. But like I said, you have to have tough
Do you
skin.
have to share a room with them?
No, me
You-
personally, no. I can't speak for the new girls.
Right.
But I definitely don't share a
No.
room with them.
But could I get back to asking you a question?
Sure.
I'm interested to know, how does a show like that inspire young girls? If, like you're saying, there's a lot of fighting, what's the inspiring part? It's not the fighting.
I think it's really just standing your ground. On the show we would call it standing on business. You know, in life I feel like you're tested a lot, whether it's in the industry, whether it's in life, whether it's at your job, 9 to 5, whatever it may be. And for me personally, I've been fighting all my life. Just to have a better future, for Jen knows, my mom's sobriety, and I took custody of my little sister when she was 6 months old. She's now going to be 8, and I have joint custody with my mom now. She's 4 years sober. So
She
I
took
See, now
custody
to
of
me,
it.
that's
That's
inspiring.
inspiring.
You have to be one strong
thank you.
person, and you're
Person.
so young to take that on. Anybody else would be like, this is not my problem.
That's,
I'm
I always
joking.
admire her for that
Thank
because
you.
I can't believe it. When
So
I
you have a big heart.
she
Yeah, I
does.
had to be a mother before I'm even a mother.
Yeah.
So that was really hard.
You
and-
had to do it because
Yeah.
there was no other choice.
Yeah, and there was a lot of situations where when my mom wasn't where she is now, there were red carpets I couldn't be on because I didn't have a babysitter for my little sister. There were certain places I couldn't be because I had to tend to being a mother.
How old is she?
She's 8 now. She'll be 9 in
Does
December.
she live with you?
Up until last August, she did. But now me and my mom have joint custody, and she's residential with my mom. But up until August, she was with me from 6 months old.
Does
Yeah.
your music, you write your own music?
Yes.
Do your lyrics come from your heartaches?
Oh, absolutely. I've mentioned her in a song before. I have a song called Big Dreams where I talk about, just my dad being incarcerated for a long time, and, my mom and, my siblings, how I've, kind of been the mom to them. I have a middle sister
She's like
as
the
well.
matriarch of the family.
Yeah, I'm definitely,
That's what she is. She's the matriarch.
the
So
glue.
are you married?
No, I'm not yet.
Are you dating?
I am. I am with somebody. I'm not single. And I do want to start having kids soon, probably in like a year or two, start, settling down and make my exit from reality TV because, my music makes good enough money. And I think that it's my 3rd season now doing this.
Okay.
So I would really
Baddies?
like for it to be my last, and then not in a bad way because I've learned a lot about myself, and I think I've grown even more in a better way going through these experiences. Because even though you're fighting, I've seen certain girls who don't come back because they just don't get it. It's not all about hurting somebody, whether it be physically or verbally. It's about getting your point across and maybe having the control not to put your hands on somebody. Learning your boundaries, your triggers, your limits. And believe me, they test every single one of them.
They got to be testing you guys on that show.
Oh, yeah.
They do. I mean, I watched a couple of episodes. I just cannot.
It's
it
rough
It's
to
rough.
watch, yeah.
It's rough. It's rough. It's
I
just
know.
But it's. I feel like I guess the networks have to do it because they have to bring the viewership in. If there's not anything to watch, the drama. Unfortunately, that's what people are driven to watch.
It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
It's a gift and a curse. But what I will say is,
But
if
there
you
is
don't
fun.
want to fight, they don't force you to fight.
No.
Like if you say, "Hey, I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting," they will respect
Like you could put
that.
something like that in your contract. I'm not the one that's going to be fighting. Don't ask me to fight.
I've heard that certain talent have had that in their contract, like a no touch thing where, whatever.
But the ones that fight get the most publicity, right?
And the most money.
And could I ask you, so what is your future like if you're going to retire and you're, you want to have a family now and you a rapper? First of all, do you sing ballads and can you sing
Oh, no, I can't sing. I'm not Mariah Carey. I'm Mariah Lynn.
straight rap?
Straight rapping.
So what does a rapper do when they retire? What other dreams do you have that you want to pursue besides rapping after these shows? And
So when I first came into the industry, I was signed to an independent label, and I wasn't educated on the business. Like, there's so many platforms that you get payout from that I didn't know. Copyright.gov, where I now own every single sound recording that I've ever sound recorded as mine, copywritten by me.
Smart.
But before I knew all of that, I was robbed for $500,000 by the label owner.
Like Kesha.
Coop, yes, correct.
Kesha
So
now finally got her rights back.
right, so I'm actually have a $3 million lawsuit. We're
Do you know
trying to
the
find
Beatles
him.
don't even own their own rights to their songs?
that's
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy?
Yeah.
They never ever.
Did Michael
owned-
Jackson own it or something like that?
Michael Jackson owned the rights to this.
Really,
Isn't
I
that
never even
crazy?
knew that. That's
Yeah.
a fun
He
fact.
bought the
He
rights.
bought the
to
rights to Happy Birthday. How about that?
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what. And Paul McCartney owns the rights to a lot of people's songs. It's great. I guess they started buying up other people's songs because everybody
Yeah.
owned
My
theirs.
best friend is,
But who
is
knew
a,
that?
a songwriter. Her name is Diane Warren. And she's incredible. She's written every song you could think of, every ballad. She's the most, she's the number one
She wrote
female
Celine, right? She
single
wrote
songwriter
Titanic,
in the world.
right? She
Wow.
wrote the Titanic ballad, right? Was for Celine? Didn't she write that?
Yes.
Oh wow,
She
that's
also
iconic.
You're here
Oh, that is
with
She
Iconic.
wrote Unbreak My Heart, If I Could Turn Back
Oh
Time.
my gosh, she's legendary. Then.
Yeah.
Tyler, Stephen, what's his name? I stay away
Wait
just to hear you read.
Oh my
it.
God.
Diane, this is a
Aerosmith,
shout out to
right?
you.
Aerosmith.
So that
But
was my
she is
grandmother's
this-
favorite artist.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I love
That was
him.
my grandmother. She used to play Aerosmith all the time. So I love that song.
That's a
Love
great
that
song.
She was smart from the get. She owns all her publishing.
Yeah.
She did that.
If you don't do that, then
the
somebody could
80s.
just
Yeah.
take it. Or they could just,
Especially when you're a young girl like me coming in the game, you just want to feed your family, take care of your family, provide a comfortable living situation, and they see an opportunity to take advantage of you. But I caught on very quickly, luckily for me.
You're
I'm
street
not,
smart.
Yeah, and book smart. And I did look into things and I was like, wait, I'm not receiving money from YouTube. I'm not, like, how many records did we sell on iTunes? And then I found out it went gold, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So I went and copywrote everything, submitted proof to Catapult. Catapult banned him from Catapult, took his whole catalog down, and I got to redistribute independently under my own company's name. And now I own everything. So that was my story. Yeah, and it was really hard because, it hindered a lot of my campaigns and a lot of things that I could have did on top of having to take care of 2 siblings and a nephew. My sister had her son, so it was like, wow, this is a lot. But there has to be a greater purpose. There has to be a rainbow at the end of this storm. And there was. And even though, like Jen was saying, it's not like this is, with all respect to Zeus and everything, but I didn't think for 3 years prior to I was asked to be on the show, and I kept saying, no, this is not for me. No, this is not for me. Like, thank you for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it, but no. But then it got to the point where I was like, I want to buy a house, which leads me to the answer to your question. I want to invest. I want to teach young artists how not to get robbed. I want to educate these young artists and these young girls, like, who are just blindsided to men in the industry who just want to take from them. Wow. Yeah, so that's what I want to do in the future when, Once Upon a Time is, it's never going to go. It's a classic song. But when I'm too old to perform it and stuff, hopefully I can have my own record label, own some property, have some equity, and start some companies. Like I'm buying a house in Puerto Rico. I want to buy some condos, and Airbnb I see is a successful business that a lot of people are doing. So I just want to make sure that, when I do go and it is my time, that even as young as I am, I still have the mentality of want to make sure that my kids get all my royalties. They, they don't have to
so they don't
go
have to
through
fight
what I
for
went
it.
through.
They're not gonna
Yeah.
have to
Can I
fight at the
ask
end.
you a personal question?
Sure.
Your mother was an alcoholic?
No, so my mom used drugs. She was
Drug user?
Yeah.
Okay, and your father?
my father was incarcerated for 9.5 years.
So I want to ask you, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get this from? Because there's going to be kids or somebody right now who's out there
Absolutely.
who is going through something. They're going to just think the world's against them and they can't accomplish anything because they are their mother and father. And that's one thing that we're not our mother and father. We're not them.
Absolutely
That's
not.
what you're doing. That's the that can't be put on me, on
Right.
you, right?
Right.
Okay. So where does where did you get this willpower and this vision and this focus to say, oh no, I'm not going to be you, and I'm not going to be you, and I'm taking my sister with me, and I just want to, I have a dream, and I want to be successful, and I don't want this kind of life. I'm going to break the chain.
The cycle.
Where does that come from in you? Do you have great faith in God or a higher power?
I definitely have great faith in God, and I've been through you could write a book, I could write a book, I could literally tell you stories, but I think the power comes from just being a person who was left. I feel like I felt abandoned in my life.
Oh my God, that's the way I've always felt.
So I never wanted to leave my siblings. I never wanted to leave my mom for dead just because of her addiction. I never wanted to leave my dad because, he was incarcerated. And I started to think as an adult, what did my parents go through that made them this way? That I couldn't understand as a young child, because I couldn't understand that my dad went through whatever he went through in his life, or, my mom went through certain things that I didn't know until I was older. Like, oh, this makes sense. No wonder why mom's this way. Or no wonder why mom's so protective or so aggressive, because she's dealt with that in her life.
But you understand that it takes people till their old years, adulthood, a lot older than you are, to go
to
boom,
come through
to
that
get this,
epiphany.
to come to this realization.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm wondering, there's something very special in you, and I just want to say this, that you have in you. It's to me, it's a gift from God. I'm Catholic. I don't want to get all religious,
I am
anything
too,
like that. That's my higher
We all
power.
are.
I'm a Catholic.
We're
girl.
Italians.
Me too.
So
We're
I
Italians.
always believed that the Blessed Mother was around me and Jesus, and I didn't have an easy road either. That's why I'm getting it, and I totally get you, and I know where it comes from.
Right.
But I want you to say it because I want to hear what you think it is.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's about for you, for me, for you.
Yeah.
I think when people have that in them, that drive, when they don't come from great backgrounds,
Right.
I think it's and I have it since I'm a young kid. It's a very strong self-awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a very
self-awareness.
strong survival skill
Absolutely.
that kicks
Yes.
in.
Mm-hmm.
And like there was this story of this little girl that they found her in the Amazon forest. She lived in there from childhood, and she was raised by wolves, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
it's this folktale,
Yeah.
right? But
a
that's
folktale.
survival. You get thrown into that. Now you just the survival of the fittest.
That's it.
And there are some
It's
people
fight or
who
flight,
have
too.
it. There's some
Yes.
people that have this.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's a gift.
Yeah,
It is.
And you're blessed.
Thank you. I am, and I'm.
You are blessed.
Listen, I greatly appreciate that, because all I want to do is use my platform to just spread awareness, positivity. I know I come from a platform that is based on fighting and stuff, but getting to know these girls, they all have that power that they've been
Right.
through something, and that's why, even the girls that I don't necessarily like, I still sympathize with them, though I may not tell them that. But I do still sympathize for them as well. I pray for my friends and I pray for my enemies, because I pray for them to get over whatever hate they have in their heart. That I was angry. I was so angry at one point, and I just was like, oh, why was my life
when
this?
when you felt that anger, did you feel like it was displaced a lot in the beginning before you? I feel like that happened to me. I had so much anger, and then something triggered me to just stay focused. Like, I think for you, it was you had to take care of your sister.
Yes.
I think it was for me that my mom died, and I was basically like, and I had my mom died, and then
How
I got
old were you?
18, and then
my God,
what
that's
happened?
hard.
Yeah, it was hard, and my dad died when I was 11, so it was hard. I was an orphan. I mean, and it's not like that my parents wanted to leave me, but it was really, really hard not to grow up with parents. It was very hard. I think when I had my daughter, when I got pregnant with Geraldine, with that definitive moment where I knew I had to do something. Like, I had to say,
Make
you know
something
what?
out of nothing.
I cannot go down this road where I'm in this abyss by myself in this darkness. I had to come out of it and say, I have something to look forward to. I have to take care of this person. And
How
that
old
was
were
it.
you when that happened?
20.
Wow.
What do you think made you realize this?
You know what? I thought that she was going to be by herself if I wasn't there for her. Like, I thought that if I didn't do the right thing, either
She would have nobody.
She would have nobody.
Yeah.
She would be like I was alone. I felt alone and abandoned.
Yeah.
That's the way I felt.
That's why I
felt
stepped in
abandoned.
for Iceland too, because you know, I was in foster homes at one point, and me and my middle sister were separated. Thankfully, my aunt did come and get me, my Aunt Ange. But during that time, you know, I went through a lot of things in foster care, ugly, dark things. I
How
saw.
old were you?
I was 13 to 16 when I
3 years you were in
You were
foster
there?
care?
yeah, like I was bouncing around because it was crazy. But you know, I went through an experience that was really hard for me, and I felt like I didn't want my sisters to go through that, and that's why I took my middle sister had my nephew. They're the 6 months apart. My little sister Iceland and my nephew. So I had 3 kids technically. At that time, I was like 20 something years old. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, I don't want to abandon these kids, because if I do, what if what I went through happens to them? How
Right.
would I feel knowing that I had the power to do something to change their future? My aunt did it for me in a way. Yeah, I suffered, I went through things, but she showed me better things in life when I lived with her. So thank God to her. Thanks, St. Ange. I love you. She's amazing and just great Italian woman. Her parents were amazing to me, treated me like their grandchild.
You're Puerto Rican and Italian.
Yes,
Which
Puerto
you
Rican
said is a
Italian.
rarity in your business.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. It is.
Do you pull from both ethnicities,
true.
like both
I do.
backgrounds?
I absolutely do. Italian, talk with my hands.
Yep.
Very loud. Puerto Rican, I'm late for everything. I'll probably late for my own
I had to
funeral.
tell her that she was supposed to be here at 3 o'clock, and she got here at 4.
Yeah.
But that was all right. But she's supposed to be here at 5. But I was so
Right.
proud of her that she got
That I
actually
got here
here.
at
why
4.
you were
I
saying
did. Yes, I did. But
So I have both.
No,
A little bit of
Do you
my mom.
speak Italian or
I
Spanish?
speak Spanish. I know a lot of Italian, little words here and there because my grandparents. But I do speak more Spanish now because I've been with my boyfriend for 5 months, and he speaks no English. Well, more now that he's been around me.
He speaks no English?
More now. He's like,
How did you communicate
like,
when
what's
you
your
first met with
problem,
him?
man?
What?
well, how do you communicate when you don't? You communicate through the
I
language.
knew a
of
little bit of
love.
Spanish beforehand, but you figure out how to speak.
Love break.
Language of love.
Right. Listen, he knew what that meant in
You
English. So,
When you said that.
I know.
Say it again.
You just speak through the language of love.
Oh, love. And yeah, I love that for us, though. It's funny at times. Like, we literally can't even argue. So I love that.
You know what's funny? It's like what I spoke about the first show I did on this show. And I say, you can't judge people. Everybody has something on the back burner,
Yes.
right? You
It's
can't
true.
judge a person by the way they look or
No.
just what you have up front. There's so much more we have
Yeah.
that people don't know about, right?
Yeah.
And somebody like you, one, the hip hop, you can get some kind of false judgment just being a hip hop singer,
All the
right?
time.
It goes with a whole.
But you know what's funny about
territory.
her, Kathryn? This persona. I mean, she always looks beautiful.
No,
She's
but that's what I'm saying.
But
Wait, let me
that's what I'm
finish.
saying.
Let
Go,
me finish.
go,
Let me
go.
say it. So when you saying that, like the whole hip hop persona, which
Yeah.
everybody loves, we love that hip hop.
Yeah.
But the way you're dressed, your look, and then the back burner part is a fucking army pot,
Yeah.
army soup pot of such goodness and such love and such strength and such determination.
Yes, thank you, yes.
And focus and this is you are inspiring. So
Thank
going back
you.
to the very first question, what's inspiring about the show? I hope that you get to
Yes.
talk about this on the show.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, you know, there's a lot of things that get aired that I'm like, but ultimately it just builds better character for me. You know, and I go on there and I go in organically. I don't, orchestrate any storyline. I don't do none of that. I'm just
There's
my
nothing fake about it.
yeah,
It
like I'm
whatever
just my
happens,
natural
it's
self.
organic.
Although I can't speak for others because I have seen girls do that. Fake the cameras
Of
turn on.
course, because
it's-
they
they're
want
a
the
different
camera
person.
time. That's what they
Right.
have to do when
But
they're on reality. Of
I'm
course,
not
that's how
really-
you get the camera time.
Yeah.
Like in your business, you get the camera time because they tell you the camera time. In reality, if you don't take it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You have to take it and you have to make it or they won't film you.
Absolutely. That's what I love about me is that I
But you don't need
organically
to
just
do-
go
you
with
don't
the
need to
flow.
do all that.
Yeah, no. And it's definitely time to just, I want the people to know that my music is my main priority. It's always been my baby. It's always been what I put above all. I did Baddies, yes, to provide better and be in a better place with my family and to be able to start my own family, because that's important to me now. I think I've took a lot of time focusing on helping my family that I forgot about starting my own family. And that means a lot to me as well. So I'm starting to gear up to do that and, prepare to maybe sit down for like a few months when I do decide to have a baby and stuff. And even that's a little scary for me because I'm like, wow, my life is under this microscope of, people just every Sunday, they love you, they hate you, they love you, they hate you, they love to hate you. It's a roller coaster. So, at times I'm like, do I really want to bring a kid into this world and have, they didn't ask for their mom to be famous. They didn't ask for their mom to, be this person, but I'm just gonna make sure that, I thoroughly think it out and I took a lot of time to wait. So I'm proud of myself for that as well,
I think you're going to be a good mom. Anyway, you already are a good mom.
I had practice.
But it's so funny because like I was gonna say is that this is the way she looks. But when we hang out together, when she comes to my house, she looks like it's like normal. Her hair's not done, but I think she looks the most beautiful when you're like that.
No my boyfriend says the same thing. He's like,
I think you look beautiful.
No makeup.
Yes, I think
like,
you
all
look
right.
beautiful when you come over in your little sweatsuit and your hair up in a ponytail. No makeup.
Everybody
on.
knows that I love my sweatsuits.
Yes,
I love
she's
to
so
be
cute.
comfortable, and I like to be girly too. But I think there's just comfortability for me. It just feels like better. It's just more me to be comfortable. I like the glitz and the glam stuff. Don't
you're
get me
comfortable
wrong.
in
What
that too,
girl doesn't? And I
obviously.
am. But I would rather be like that. I like that people relate to me. I like that, sometimes I'm misunderstood and then they understand me the next week because nobody's perfect. This is what I think these people forget. But then I have to also remember that half of these pages are robots and 9-year-olds who are up past their
Really.
bedtime.
That's you can't get upset over
Like,
it. You can't.
It's 10:48. Do you know where your kid's at?
Right, exactly.
On Instagram commenting something malicious to a grown adult. Like, come on.
Exactly.
So I've grown to just not even read stuff sometimes because it's just the toxicity and stuff. Like, listen, regardless whether you love or hate me, you're still tuning in every Sunday. You're still streaming my music and you're still talking about me. So thank you for keeping me relevant because it just keeps the big bags coming.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the way you got to think
That's
about
a good way
it.
to close it.
Yeah.
That's a wrap-up sale.
That's a wrap-up
Puddings
sale.
and big bags.
Love it.
Wrap it up and put a bow on it.
Tell everybody where they can find you, Mariah, and what time the
Absolutely.
show is.
So thank you for having me. I love this podcast. I tune in every week, so I hope you guys love this episode. You can find me on Instagram, Mariah Lynn Boss, Twitter, YouTube, Mariah Lynn Boss, and tune into Baddies every Sunday on Zeus. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, it's worth the $5.99, $4.99,
What time?
whatever it is. 6 p.m.
Okay.
every Sunday. Baddie shot o'clock. Meet me there. I'll beat you there.
We're going to be watching her. She's good. And everybody, thank you for watching this episode of Cats, Kitty, and Pudding. And I'd also like to thank our sponsor, Dolce Bean Cafe. If you're interested in the best espresso and latte and all imported goods from Italy and the best gelato you ever eat in your life. It's in the heart of Ridgewood, Queens, and it's called Dolce Bean Cafe. And thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Mwah! That was a good episode.